Hey guys, Gore here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're checking out something a little divergent than you're used to seeing from me in the form of this stylish cyberpunk-esque shooter, Severed Steel. I was lucky enough to get my hands on the game early before the public demo comes out later today. This isn't a sponsored video, so you guys are going to hear my honest-to-God opinion about where I think this game excels, where it lacks, and what things I think can be added to make it a more enjoyable experience. As always, if you enjoy the video, leave it a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Now, let's get into things. When first loading up in this game and playing my first few rounds, it made me quite reminiscent of my Bulletstorm days back on the Xbox 360. A game where the scope was to take down enemies in the most creative and ridiculous ways imaginable, rewarding for your impeccable ability to, well, to put it nicely, shoot a guy in the family jewels. Anyways, I digress. Severed Steel gives you this sense of, yes, I am the main character, with your ability to weave in and out of enemies, sliding, diving, and wall running, and when the opportune moment comes, slow down time and land that perfect headshot. One of the standout things that impressed me doesn't entirely have to do with the gameplay or mechanics, but the fact that this game is being developed by one guy. The lone dev Matt has been hard at work in this project for about 2 years now. Inspired from games he played as a kid like Max Payne 2, Fear, and the Specialist mod for Half-Life 2. He loved the interactive and stylish combat and was a huge fan of bullet time mechanics. Inspiration has also come from some of the modern day games like Hotline Miami, Mirror's Edge, and Superhot. Channeling aspects from all these games into what he calls his dream FPS. The setting for the different levels is an underground post-apocalyptic survival bunker. You play as the main one-armed protagonist named Steel, who's hell-bent on getting revenge on the people who run the bunker and betrayed her. The story for the game is planned to be told through a comic book strips in between the different levels in the campaign mode, although this is not in the game quite yet. Currently, the only playable mode in Severed Steel is Arcade. Before you jump into a mission, you have a few choices. First off, you can choose one of 6 currently playable maps, of which unlock as you progress through the game's level system. As you progress through the levels, you unlock the ability to choose different starting weapons and mutators. The starting weapon choice is cool, but in-game you're constantly having to grab new weapons, so the difference it makes is negligible. The mutators, on the other hand, I actually really enjoyed, and I would love to see many more added. At this stage in the game, you can choose Paintball, where your bullets leave paint splatters, Double Jump, which is pretty straightforward, Big Heads, which increases the head size of enemies for easy headshots, and finally, Exploding Enemies, where on death, your enemies pop like balloons. These are the things I think give the game an awesome sense of replayability and enjoyment. Trying to complete different missions in unique ways and just adding more of a wow factor to each run through. There are 5 difficulties to choose from in-game, ranging from laughably bad AI in the easiest to getting one shot in the most difficult. The game seems to be meant to play on the Severed Steel difficulty, where the game has a good mix of rewarding and punishing gameplay. The developer Matt has also alluded to the fact that maybe not on release, but shortly after release, adding an editor mode where the player can create your own levels and share them with the community through the Steam Workshop. I'm a firm believer that modding support is a must with any indie title these days, so seeing that a huge emphasis is already being put on a level editor is refreshing to see. Getting into the actual gameplay, I have to give a round of applause to the dev. The responsiveness of your character to the controls you're inputting are sublime. I did struggle a bit at the start getting used to the slide, dive, jump, and wall running, but after a few run-throughs, I was getting the hang of things, and that's when the true potential of this game unlocks. No longer was I just trying to eliminate every enemy as quickly as possible. Now, it's all about style. Traversing the play area with as much creativity as I could conjure. Shooting someone in the face was no longer enough for me. I needed to fly through a window, wall run past, or do a flip over a guy and shoot him while I'm upside down. The movement in the game is also your means to staying alive, with each stunt you perform creating a screen effect with white lines surrounding the center indicating that the enemies aren't able to hit you. You also have a health and adrenaline bar that can be depleted easily. To regenerate both, you need to eliminate enemies. The more stylish you make the kills and the more you chain them together, the quicker you regain your health and adrenaline. On top of the movement in this game, the environment is also completely destructible and surfaces have bullet penetration. Different caliber weapons can penetrate different surfaces, like light caliber weapons not going through metal surfaces while the higher caliber can. Each surface within the game is made out of voxels, almost like Minecraft blocks where different blocks have differing durability and react in different ways to certain calibers. With the destructibility, the arm cannon is your best friend. It enables you to blast huge holes in walls, floors, and ceilings. Got a pesky enemy running on the catwalk above you? Blast a hole through the floor he's standing on and bring him on down to your level. The weapons in Severed Steel, while they may not be plentiful, feel fantastic in game. There's pistols, submachine guns, ARs, and my personal favorite, the shotgun. With the description of the weapon simply being explained as overpowered, it definitely lives up to its name. On top of the shotgun, we also have an arm cannon that looks a lot like Samus's arm cannon. And lastly, we have the Ayakashi. Simply put, this thing slaps. With it, you can one-shot any foe besides the heavies. Now, there's no reloading in Severed Steel. When you run out of ammo, you chuck your weapon at an enemy if you so choose to, and grab a new one. One of my favorite things to do was start out without a weapon and slide by the first enemy I'd see, grab his pistol from his holster, and pop him in the head as I continued past him. For Mini, the HUD system in the game may be a bit too flashy and in your face than you'd like. The developer has said that these on-screen pop-ups will have the option of being turned off in the full release of the game. Severed Steel has a very kick back and shoot some things vibe, which is further complemented by their in-game soundtrack. I found myself bobbing my head along to the songs as I blasted my way through each level. I think that's the real beauty of a game like this, especially for someone like me that plays games that require so much effort and concentration. Being able to load in, try some new acrobatics, and shoot some things all while having a nice beat in the background is something I've been missing out in my gaming life for a while now. I don't think this game is something I'd sit down and play endlessly for hours and hours, but its creative style and simplistic gameplay loop allows me to just power down for a bit and game. Throughout my playtime, there was a couple things nagging at me in my head that I thought could make this game a better overall experience. Within the arcade mode, the best maps were the ones where you had the feeling of freedom to jump and dive about and work your way through without the sense of linear progression. Some of the maps I felt like you always had to start and finish in the same areas, making the desire to replay the mission quite low. I'd like to see the addition of choosing your entry point or more options to let you traverse the area at your own leisure. Additionally, this problem may fix itself with the more levels coming in the future and the addition of the editor mode. Severed Steel has a definite cool factor to the game with the combination of the art style, the bullet time mechanics, and the freedom of movement. But something I think would enhance this ability is to have a friend tag along for some missions. For a game like this, being able to show off your skills or fight alongside a buddy would massively increase my desire to play more of it. I'm a gamer that loves playing with my friends, so having to roam around solo while streaming it in Discord just doesn't have the same effect on me that other games with co-op enabled do. All in all, I'm intrigued by the game and I'm interested to see the direction it's taken and what gets added. I'm excited to see how the campaign plays out and how much of a storyline we get. Additionally, I think the level editor is going to produce some pretty incredible player-made missions. So, if you've liked what you've seen, what can you do about it? Well, the free demo is coming out today, Saturday the 12th, with the full release of the game planned for late summer. If you'd like to keep up with the development of the game, I'll leave a link to their Twitter and Discord in the description. I do hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you pick up the demo, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm out.